Yeah, Michael. I'm founder of Tollan Worlds. Tollan Worlds is pixel art action RPG, something like Diablo, but in pixel art.
And you were telling me before too. It's like Diablo meets
Meets Stardew
Stardew
Valley.
Valley.
Yes, it's something in between. So it's not as dark as Diablo, and not as I would say peaceful as Stardew Valley. So it's something aggressive, but in pixel art. But you have roguelite dungeons and everything. So you have the spirit of Diablo, but it's a little bit more authentic and nostalgic. So you have all of those pixels everywhere.
So where's the inspiration for this game come along?
I mean, clearly we played a lot of Diablo and Path of Exile, all of those kind of games. I mean, I personally played a lot of CS:GO. I don't know what I'm doing here at all. But me including and my teammates played a lot of Diablo, again, Path of Exile, and we were gamers our whole lives. And we were like, why don't we make a game? Do we have budget for a AAA project? No way. Do we want to compete against Diablo? No way. So we started with something simpler, something we can do ourselves, and here we are. Here we are with the pixel art version of Diablo.
You look young. How old are you?
22.
22, and you're making a video game. So at what age did you first start thinking about this project?
So I was in college. It was 2 years ago. The studio exists for like 19 months now. And I was back in South Korea. I studied in South Korea, and basically I dropped out from college and I found the studio. And after a little period of time, I moved to the U.S. and here I am.
Gosh, dang. Okay, so take us to the background of, you said you come from CS. What other games were you playing growing up?
A lot of Minecraft. So I've been familiar with pixels and voxels for a while now. Warcraft 3. This is where my storytelling inspiration is coming from, and this is pretty much it. Like I played a lot of games like Witcher, Cyberpunk, and all of those AAA titles, but the ones I can really say inspired me and a part of what I'm putting into Tollan Worlds right now are Warcraft and Minecraft and Diablo.
Let's dive a bit more into the game itself.
Okay.
First of all, the name, Tollan Worlds.
Tollan Worlds, like right here,
I'm an idiot. So is there a meaning behind it then?
Actually, yes. So Tolen is it was like a civilization in Central America called Toltec. It also called Tolen, and it united different parts of this region into one single entity with the same language and currency. So this is something we do in our lore as well. So there's a really big correlation between.
And then explaining your game to like a casual viewer like myself, mislabeling it earlier. But like if you had to explain your game to someone who just saw your trailer, what they can expect to get out of the game, how would you explain it?
A lot of fun. I like the book. I like to quote a lot. It's the book. The name itself basically it's called Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, and this is what you can expect from our game. A lot of blood, sweat, and pixels.
And you were telling me before, and we'll cut around if need be. But you were telling me before some of the unique features of your game. We're avoiding some choice words, but you mentioned some avatars.
Oh yes.
As well?
We so the way we're trying to reward early adopters is by giving them something they can actually own, and we created a collection of avatars, and we distributed them to people who played our early demos, who were active in our Discord in early stages, and they're limited edition. And they will later give people benefits, like if they bought Kickstarter package, for example, like more content, certain discounts for in-app purchases, a lot of fun stuff you would like to have if you're here for the actual game. So yeah, this is how we're like our mechanism to reward people and make them stick around until the game is actually out.
You got to be one of the younger devs here at the Expo. Can you speak to what your experience has been like so far? I mean, obviously very young, and you kind of just threw yourself into a fire of a wide open world. So what has that been like?
A lot of blood, sweat, and pixels. It's a difficult industry. It's really hard to make a game that people can actually play. Even beside that, it's a lot of work with the people you're working with, because a lot of us are young. The oldest person in the team is 30 years old, which is like not too young, but still like it's not like he has experience, like a few decades of experience in game development. So we learn a lot, we experiment a lot, and we really try to listen to our audience. We try to let our community be our project managers, and that's why, again, we're coming back to the avatars. They have ownership of something from our game, and by this, we're trying to give them incentive to actually take part in the development by opening more opportunities for them to contribute into a world's lore, into gameplay, creating some quests, etc. So yeah, I would say just listen to your audience if you want to make a good game.
What does it mean to you then to be featured here at an expo like this? We spoke to a lot of devs about getting this level of exposure can be incredibly hard at times. So to be now part of this and being exposed to a whole new audience, what has that been like?
It's amazing validation of what we've been through so far. It's been a lot of difficult moments, and really, like, I always had this mentality of treating all the difficulties and challenges as lessons, and my vision just proving itself by us being here, and it feels amazing. Of course, me personally, I left Ukraine 5 days before the war started, and I spent a while in Europe, and then I left, and then I moved to the US literally 1 year ago to find exposure for my gaming studio. So I said I was studying in South Korea, and because I was studying there, I haven't seen my family for a few years. So in early 2022, I went to Ukraine just to see them for a few months, and it was right when the war was approaching. And because I have birthday on February 27, I left to see my friends in Europe right before the war started. And this is when I realized, oh, I cannot just go back. There's no way. There's no way back. So I think this was like a huge part of why I am here right now. Like, this was one of the reasons I am here right now, because it just pushed me to move forward, because there was just no way back, you know. And in Ukraine, we just have this survival mentality right now, just to keep moving forward, because you just have nowhere to go backwards.
We have talked about some devs who are also stuck in Ukraine. Unfortunately, we've also talked to some video game pro players who also can't get out because all that stuff going on, and it's just obviously a crazy situation. So have you used that as more of a sense of motivation, like you said there? I mean, it's a beautiful story, but what's the end goal with this game?
For me, it's to, of course, entertain people. We have really difficult situation in the world right now, and we all need some entertainment. But of course, in case, or better say, when we are successful, I would love to use the money to help Ukraine and to help also game developers in Ukraine, like opening a publishing studio or venture capital in Ukraine to support game developers there, while also supporting all of those who were damaged by the war.
One last one for you, because you are so young and so well spoken, and you've already gone through so much more than a lot of people your age have. Are there any words of inspiration for anyone who would want to be a dev one day or make a video game one day, who might look up to your story and see it as inspirational as it is?
Yes, and I would say people right now really promoting and kind of advocating consistency, but I don't think it's always the case, because a lot of bad things can happen, and you cannot always be consistent. Like in Ukraine, for example, like learn on our lesson. Today everything is fine, tomorrow you have like a rocket shelling and you don't have light for 3 days, so you cannot physically be consistent. And me, as like a person with ADHD, I experienced this even before the war, because like you cannot always control your brain, so you cannot always be consistent. But what important for me is persistency. Even you failed for a couple of days, you didn't have literal light, or you were not able because you've had like some bad stuff going on with you lately, just keep doing that. Yes, just catch up. Don't let this few days or hours ruin more of your time. Just cut it. Say it's in the past. It's already happened. The only thing I can do right now is not let this ruin my future, and my future started this precise moment.